Hello and welcome to Talk of Your Game as the preview for the second leg of West Ham United against Doms Alley, where we're currently 2-1 down after the first leg. Tom, you were there in Slovenia. You must have been raging.
I was not happy. I'll tell you what, guys. It was, you know what? I think it's one. It's in the top three for worst performances I've ever seen West Ham play. To be honest, it was absolutely awful.
I think it's the worst I've seen under Bilic. I think it was worse than 4-1 against Swansea as well, purely because against Swansea we dominated for some parts of the game, albeit it wasn't very much. But Gonzo, what went wrong on Thursday? We're not going to go too much into it. It's not going to turn into a review. But what do you think went wrong in Slovenia?
Square pegs in round holes and fitness. I think really, if I were to sum it up, and it's not going to be a match review, I'll go with that.
Do you think, Gonzo, that Bilic picked his senior 11 players and tried to fit them into a formation rather than picking a formation and picking players to fit that?
I would think so. I think if I was Burke or Oxford, I know you might come back and say Oxford was playing in the junior tournaments and whatnot. I'd be disappointed to see Nordveit, who had played for Mönchengladbach. He was a captain, but played defensive midfield all season. I know he can play right back. I know he can play central midfield, central defence. But I think if I was them, I'd have probably been disappointed. So perhaps what you say, rather than picking a centre back, picking another centre back, picking a right back, picking a left back, all that sort of basic schoolboy stuff that you would teach your kids to do, that you would do yourself, or maybe even do if you were playing a computer game. You'd stick round pegs in round holes. It just didn't seem to do that.
Well, we will talk about the lineup, what we want to see this week towards the end of the show. But Tom, let's think about our opponents for a second. They looked fearless in the first leg. It was probably the biggest game of their careers, and I don't know too much about them, but I'll assume it was, because the Premier League's big over there. Should they have confidence coming to London on Thursday night?
Not so much, not so much confidence. Yeah, I think more. I think, as you said, more of no fear. Really, it's going to be for our players as well. I mean, I don't think most of our players have played in front of a crowd, 54,000 plus. Even our old stadium, 35,000. For them sort of players. I mean, their stadium's only got 2,500. So, I mean, yeah, it's a big step up, isn't it? Really, and. I mean, yeah, all fair play to them. They done us over the other day. We were just absolutely awful, but yeah, that's what I think.
Do you think, Tom, you were there, do you think their manager got it tactically spot on the first leg?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we won't, as you said, we won't go into too much. You already got into on your review and all that, and in the other shows. To be honest, yeah, they knew our right hand side, and so they've done their own work. They knew, and they were consistently going down that side. I think both the goals, the penalty, and the second goal definitely come from that side, and they've done the homework. And that's what football's about, and it's brilliant bit of management actually.
Tom, lastly, their left winger, I don't know his name, Srnic or whatever, the guy that scored two, would you be making special requirements for him this leg, or will you be saying, forget their team, we're still better on paper, if we play, we'll win? What would you be thinking, taking their left midfielder into consideration, Tom?
No, I just think he's got to play a game, really, just turn up, Gio, to be honest with you. I think we've got more than enough quality to beat these quite easy on Thursday. But hey, worse things happen. This is what the West Ham way is all about.
Gonzo, Tom mentioned there about the Olympic Stadium. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing, playing at the Olympic Stadium 2-1 down after the first leg?
Well, we don't have a choice, do we? So about that, it doesn't matter if it's a good thing or a bad thing. What I do think is it's quite pivotal, and it will set the tone for the rest of the season. So it's a funny mood for everybody to be going into the first game in the stadium in. So there's been a big fanfare. Juventus is the first game. There's going to be an opening ceremony, fireworks, music, dancing, brilliant. Oh, hold on a minute. Juventus is not the first game. Actually, we've got to play against the Mickey Mouse outfit from Slovenia, and we're going to be 2-1 down, and it's going to be squeaky bum time. So the crowd are going to be going in there, new surroundings, very, very nervous. You just know the tannoy is going to get on the tannoy. I don't know if DJ Leon's still over there or whatever, but they're going to put I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles on, as everyone will start singing, everyone will be looking a bit nervous, and if it doesn't go well, it's going to set the tone for the season in a bad way, and the last thing we need is to begin the season with negativity, because funny enough, you talk about Antonio, you just know that Conte, in that first game against Chelsea when we play away, he's going to be saying to Eden Hazard, get after him, son, get after him. So actually the surroundings and the occasion, with it being at the Olympic Stadium, are pivotal. It can go either one way or very, very badly, or it can be a complete celebration of football and a party, and we qualify for, is it the group stages of the Europa Cup? It's not, it's another qualifying round, so crikey, that is a Mickey Mouse competition, I tell you.
Gonzo, do you worry though if come half time, say, we're still not winning, it's 0-0 or it's 1-1 or whatever, we're still not winning, do you worry that it could turn a little bit hostile?
Yeah, it could. I'd hope not. I'd really hope not. But I was there. I went to the early games last season at Lusitans and Astra. It was not clever. And the thing that is going to cause us most trouble was actually you pointed out to me. It's all very well if we make signings early on this week, they won't be registered in time to play in the UEFA Cup, even if they in the Europa Cup, even if they pass their medicals. So we're stuck with what we got, which is hopefully Cantora will be fitter and able to play. But aside from that, yeah, if it does get hostile, then really what does the manager have to play with? Clearly he can't throw Saka on because he's off anyway. Valencia's, well, I'm playing with 10 men anyway, so it's going to be very, very hard for him to do anything off the bench to really sort of impact the game if it is a bit tense in the stadium, you know?
But before we move on to the lineups, last question, Tom, on this sort of category. Bilic watched the game from the stands on Thursday night. Do you think that could be key, that he's seen the game from a different perspective? And do you think he's the type of manager that will get frustrated sitting up there and not being able to communicate with his players? Because he's quite an animated character anyway, isn't he?
In a way, Gio, yeah, but I mean, he wasn't that far away, you know, and his number 2 was up doing the talking for him the other day. And to be honest, one of the reasons the other day as well is there was no balls. You got Andy Carroll up top. There was no balls going into that box. You know, Andy Carroll has to have balls going into the box. I honestly can't recall one. The only time Andy Carroll actually cleared in the box was in our own box, defending corners. That says it all. I mean, you've got Andy Carroll up there. Get some balls in the box, for Christ's sake. You know, it's not rocket science, and he'll score. But
right, it's line-up time, but before that, it's referee time. I did warn you last week that the Turkish referee would be card happy and whistle happy, give away 2 pez. This one's slightly different. It's a French referee, Freddy Futrell. He didn't referee that many games last season, just 26 games. It was a top flight in France, with a couple of lower league games thrown in. He only handed out 1 straight red card last season, but he handed out 3 second yellow offences. One of them was to a PSG player after just 28 minutes. So it looks like, going back to what I can read, it looks like he will give the cards if he needs to. Now let's talk about the lineup, because this has got to be key. This is where Bilic messed up last weekend, and this is where Bilic can't afford to mess up this week, otherwise we're out of Europe again. Gonzo, where do we start? Let's start at the back. Ogbonna and Collins are registered. They have been back in training early. They can play. What are you doing at the back?
Yeah, they both have to play. Unfortunately, we've got the Cresswell injury. We're going to have to deal with that. Start with Byram at right back. Let's put a right back at right back. Let's play Reed and let's play Collins next to each other. Not ideal, but let's play Ogbonna at left back, where he's played for the Italian national team and where he has played for Juventus. Okay, it's certainly it would be the least controversial. Charlie made a great point in the last show. I sat there watching it. We only had 1 defender in the back 4 last time, because as he said, Byram actually played right midfield for Leeds, Antonio's a winger, and Nordveit was playing central midfield. So let's get defenders in that back line to start with. We'll go with oh sorry, we're doing defence first. Yeah, that's the defence.
I don't agree with the Byram thing, because we signed him in January, and he's been, when he did appear for us, he played right back. When he played for the 21s, he played right back. I'd imagine he'd been playing right back in training. That's 6 months at right back now. I consider him to be a defender. Tom, what are you doing at the back 4? Are you going with Gonzo there?
spot on with Gonzo. I know Ginge and Ogbonna, you know, they've had busy Euros and they're not fully match fit. You know, they've had no pre-season, but I think they've got enough in the tank to just stop them scoring, which is what we need. We don't need them to score on Thursday, and I think that what Gonzo said there, spot on, the back four.
Yeah, I agree with that. To be fair, I don't think they've had a busy Euros. They only played 1 appearance each. I don't consider that to be busy as such. They would have had their training. They should be fit. They've been training all summer, really. A couple of weeks off.
Yeah, they've had 2 or 3 weeks off, though, mate, haven't they, really? So, which they're entitled to, you know. So,
It's still not quite the same as breaking up in May and coming back at the start of July or whatever. But you're right. We keep a clean sheet. We score a goal. We're through, regardless of the score. Gonzo, let's move on to midfield. What are you wanting to see happen in there?
It depends what your class is midfield, what your class is forwards. If we're saying the midfield is a 2, which it has to be, I mean, that was to have 3 in effect stoppers in there, which was Noble, Kiate, and Obiang. It's silly. Clearly, there's a 3 there, so as one of them could cover Antonio's deficiencies at right back. It's such sort of convoluted thinking. It's unbelievable. So let's just have Kiate and Noble there as a midfield 2, and then we'll class everyone else as a forward if you like.
We'll move ahead then. What are you doing in front of them?
I'm going to play Antonio, I'm going to play Feghouli, and I'm going to play Toure as that 3. And I'm going to have Payet on the bench as well. He can't muck around there. And I'll get Samuelson on the bench the way he was doing up in the stands, twiddling his thumbs as well. And then Carroll ahead of them.
I don't think Payet can play. I've seen reports saying he can be on the bench. According to UEFA's rules, you cannot change your registration. You have up until midnight before the first leg to make one change. So Bilic would have had to put Payet in the day before the first leg.
Why wouldn't they have done that? Why wouldn't they have added him to the squad? Because the squad's big in preparation for the second leg.
Because I don't think Bilic would have expected us to get beat 2-1 in Slovenia. He probably assumed we'd have the job done. On paper, that team should have got the job done, but we didn't turn up with the right attitude, and Bilic messed up a bit. Tom, what are you doing with the rest of your team? Are you doing the same as Gonzo here?
Yeah. Again, Gonzo's got the nail on. Yeah, it's spot on. That is absolutely spot on. I mean, that, and if we can't beat these guys with the team that Gonzo, what we've just gone through defence, midfield, and attack, well, we've got serious problems more than we actually think, and more than we realise.
I could be wrong about the Dimitri Payet thing. Hopefully, I am, but I think that's how it works anyway, but we'll soon see. Before we get your predictions, and if you're confident, remember to subscribe to our channel here at Hammers Chat, and make sure you come onto our forum, hammerschat.com, and join in all the discussion. Gonzo, are you confident? And give us your score prediction for this leg, please.
I am confident. I might sound a bit grumpy. That's because I didn't do the review, so I've not had a chance to vent it on the video. I've been on the forum and had a whinge, but yeah, I am actually confident that we will win. I think we'll beat them 2-0.
Tom, are you confident? What are you expecting to happen? And your score prediction, please.
Yeah, I'm confident as well. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as Gonzo says. I think we're just going to scrape a 1-0 game, and I'll be happy with that, to be honest. As long as we get through, I don't care. I don't care if we get through, Gio. I just want to get through, So, yeah, 1-0 for me.
I think we all share that sentiment, don't you, buddy Tom? I think we're all a bit nervous, actually. While confident, I think we're all a little bit nervous about what could happen. I'm going to go for a win as well. I'm going to go for 3-1. I didn't think we'd win last week. I did say it on the preview before. I didn't think we'd win purely because of match sharpness. And I think last week was a wake-up call. It will be a wake-up call. And it's not often Bilic gets it wrong twice in a row, apart from right back. Let's ignore that one. But thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you come on to our forum at hammerschat.com. Let us know your thoughts. That's been Gonzo. That's been Tom. I've been Gio. We're all predicting West Ham United will be in the playoff final qualifying round for the Europa League.